What if I told you that the way you respond to your crying baby today could influence their romantic relationships 30 years from now? Or that the comfort you provide during a toddler tantrum might determine how they handle stress as an adult? It sounds dramatic, but this is exactly what attachment theory reveals, and understanding it might be the most important thing you learn as a parent. Hey everyone! If you've been following my parenting series, you know we usually focus on practical tips for everyday challenges. But today, we're going deeper. We're talking about the psychological foundation that underlies everything we do as parents. Welcome to Therapy Hearts, and today we're exploring attachment theory, the science that explains how the bonds we form with our children in their earliest years literally shape who they become. This isn't about creating parent guilt. It's about understanding just how powerful and important your role really is. So let's dive in. What is attachment theory? Attachment theory was developed by psychiatrist John Bowlby in the 1950s, and it fundamentally changed how we understand child development. Here's the basic idea. In the first few years of life, children form deep emotional bonds with their primary caregivers, usually parents. These bonds aren't just about love. They're about survival, safety, and learning how the world works. Think about it from a baby's perspective. They're completely helpless. They can't feed themselves, protect themselves, or regulate their own emotions. So their brain is constantly asking one critical question: can I count on someone to help me? The answer to that question, shaped by thousands of interactions with you, becomes their internal working model of relationships, trust, and their own worthiness. This model doesn't just affect childhood. It becomes the lens through which they view all relationships for the rest of their lives. The 4 attachment styles. Through decades of research, psychologists identified 4 main attachment styles. Let me walk you through each one. Secure attachment, the gold standard. Picture this. A baby cries, and their parent responds consistently and warmly. The baby learns, when I'm upset, someone helps me. The world is safe. I am worthy of love. What this looks like. The child explores confidently, knowing they have a safe base to return to. When upset, they seek comfort and are easily soothed. They develop optimism and trust in relationships. As adults, they form healthy relationships and handle stress well. This is what we're aiming for. And the good news? You don't have to be perfect, just good enough and consistent. Anxious attachment, the worrier. Now imagine a child whose parent is sometimes warm and responsive, but other times distracted, irritable, or unpredictable. The child learns, I need love, but I can't count on getting it. I have to work hard to keep people close. What this looks like: extreme clinginess and separation anxiety, constantly seeking reassurance, high anxiety about relationships. As adults, they may be needy or fear abandonment. Difficulty trusting that they're loved. Avoidant attachment, the self-reliant. Consider a child raised by emotionally distant or dismissive caregivers who discourage emotional expression. The child learns, my feelings don't matter, I need to handle things alone. What this looks like: appears independent, but it's defensive. Doesn't seek comfort when hurt, suppresses emotions. As adults, they struggle with intimacy and vulnerability, may seem cold or disconnected in relationships. Disorganized attachment, the confused. The most challenging pattern occurs when a caregiver is frightening or abusive. The very person who should provide safety becomes a source of fear. The child learns, I need help, but the person who helps me also hurts me. What this looks like: contradictory behaviors, seeking and avoiding contact, high levels of confusion and fear, difficulty regulating emotions. As adults often struggle with mental health and relationships. This is typically only seen in cases of abuse or severe neglect, not normal parenting struggles. How attachment is formed. So how exactly does attachment develop? It's all about those everyday moments, thousands upon thousands of them. The critical window is birth to about age 3, when the brain is developing at its fastest rate. During this time, every interaction is literally wiring your child's brain. Key moments that shape attachment. Crying and comfort. When your baby cries and you respond, picking them up, soothing them, meeting their needs, you're teaching them they matter and the world is responsive. And no, you cannot spoil a baby by responding to their cries. That's outdated advice that contradicts all modern attachment research. Emotional regulation. When your toddler has a meltdown and you stay calm, label their feelings and help them through it, you're literally building the neural pathways for emotional regulation. Exploration and return. When your child toddles away to explore, then looks back to make sure you're there. And you are, with an encouraging smile, you're creating secure attachment. Every I see you, every I'm here, every time you show up, it all matters. These moments are building the foundation of who they'll become. The stress connection. Here's where attachment theory gets really critical. Chronic stress in early childhood literally changes the developing brain. When attachment is insecure, children live in a state of ongoing stress. They're constantly worried. Will someone help me? Am I safe? Am I loved? The biology is stark. Toxic stress effects, elevated cortisol levels that can become the child's baseline, changes in brain structure, particularly in areas governing emotions and stress response, weakened immune system, higher risk for anxiety, depression, and physical health problems later in life. One study tracked children for over 30 years and found that those with insecure attachment in infancy had significantly higher rates of inflammatory diseases, heart problems, and mental health issues as adults. The mechanism? Their bodies learned to stay in threat mode from their earliest days, and that pattern persisted throughout life. But here's the crucial point: secure attachment is protective. It literally builds resilience into your child's biology. The strange situation test. Researchers measure attachment using something called the strange situation test. Let me walk you through it because it reveals so much. Here's how it works. Step 1. Parent and child are in a room together. The child plays while the parent is present. Step 2. A stranger enters. How does the child react? Step 3. The parent leaves. How does the child handle separation? Step 4. The parent returns. This is the critical moment, the reunion. Secure attachment. Child is upset when parent leaves, but when parent returns, they seek comfort, are quickly soothed, and return to playing. Anxious attachment. Child is extremely distressed, and when parent returns, they want comfort, but also seem angry, pushing away while clinging. Avoidant attachment. Child seems unfazed by parent leaving or returning, avoiding eye contact and comfort. Disorganized attachment. Child shows confused, contradictory behaviors, approaching then freezing or seeking comfort while looking fearful. The reunion moment tells us everything about how the child has learnt to handle stress and seek support. Long-term impacts. The research on long-term outcomes is honestly staggering. Attachment in those first few years predicts academic success. Securely attached children perform better in school. They have better concentration and persistence. They handle setbacks more effectively. Relationship quality. How you attach to your parent predicts how you'll attach to romantic partners. It influences friendship patterns and social skills. It affects parenting style with your own children. Mental health. Secure attachment is protective against anxiety and depression. It builds emotional resilience. It supports healthy stress response, physical health, lower inflammation markers, stronger immune function, better overall health outcomes. Decades later. This is why your role as a parent in those early years is so incredibly important. You're not just getting through the day, you're literally building your child's future. What this means for parents, okay, so what do we actually do with this information? How do we foster secure attachment? The core principles. 1. Be responsive. When your child signals a need, through crying, reaching out or calling for you, respond promptly and warmly. You're teaching them they matter. 2. Be consistent. You don't have to be perfect, but try to be predictable. Consistent responses help children feel safe. 3. Provide comfort. When your child is upset, be their emotional regulator. Stay calm, acknowledge their feelings and help them through it. 4. Encourage exploration. Let them explore the world, knowing you're their secure base to return to. This builds confidence and independence. 5. Repair ruptures. When you mess up, and you will repair it. I'm sorry I got frustrated, let's try again. This teaches resilience. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Research shows that secure attachment happens when parents are attuned and responsive about 50–70% of the time. That's good enough parenting. What matters is the overall pattern, not individual moments. The hope factor. If you're watching this and thinking about your own childhood or worried about mistakes you've made, I want to share some really important news. Attachment styles can change. They're not permanent tattoos on your child's psychology. With therapy, secure relationships later in life. Conscious self-work, supportive partnerships. People can develop what's called earned secure attachment. Essentially, healing and rewiring those early patterns. And if you're recognizing your own insecure attachment patterns, becoming aware is the first step. You can work on yourself while also breaking the cycle with your children. This is powerful, hopeful stuff. I want to hear from you. Did this video change how you think about those everyday moments with your child? Do you recognize your own attachment style? Drop a comment and let me know. And if this made you realize just how important your role is in those early years, please share this video with other parents who need to hear it. If you want to dive deeper into attachment-focused parenting strategies, hit that subscribe button because we're going to explore exactly how to build secure attachment in practical, everyday ways. Remember, every time you respond to your child with warmth and consistency, you're not just handling the moment, you're shaping a lifetime. You're building their brain, their heart, and their future capacity for love and resilience. That's the incredible power and privilege of parenthood. I'll see you in the next video.